What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Matthew here with Digital Bankroll, and it's that time of the season again. And no, I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm talking about cryptocurrency because right now, as many of you may know, if you're in the space, Bitcoin recently cracked $100,000 for the first time ever. Wow, absolutely amazing. And I've been getting hit up by friends, family, coworkers, etc., people in the industry, people in the marketing space, people just asking me at random, hey, what's up with this Bitcoin and cryptocurrency thing? So I've been in the space for a very long time, and I have some insights that I think that I can offer. And so this video is here to help serve you guys about what to do, how to do it, and how you can make some money in the crypto space. So as you can see, look at way back here when I was buying crypto. If I drag this thing back way over to one of our first bull runs ever, okay, I was buying crypto somewhere in here. I got it for about in the hundreds. I forget exactly when, but it was a good run and it was a great time to have crypto way back when. And now look how far we've come. And back here, I remember when I was buying it, I told some of my family members I'm buying this thing called a Bitcoin. They're like, what in the hell is that? You put thousands of dollars into this thing called a Bitcoin? And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be the future of money. And that didn't happen really until this season here. So in 2021, during the COVID pandemic, that was a crazy time for crypto and Bitcoin because that was really a test to see how it was going to react to the beginnings of mainstream adoption, right? And now, really, what we've seen this season is that adoption happen, right? So during that period, we saw MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor come in and essentially hedge his entire company against Bitcoin, which is just amazing. And look what he's done now. Probably the largest Bitcoin holder in the world next to Satoshi and a few other people, but he's up there. And then you have ETFs that almost got approved in 2021, but not quite. And now there's ETFs for Bitcoin, Ethereum. There are talks of doing it for XRP, Doge, and many more cryptos in the space, which is the stamp of approval from institutions and Wall Street. And now this is being filmed shortly before Christmas here. And now, with Donald Trump being elected as the next president of the United States, that is going to be extremely bullish for Bitcoin because, as he is saying now, Trump may sign into law that the US will hold a Bitcoin reserve for the first time in history. If that happens, we can expect Bitcoin to shoot way north of 2, 3, 400,000 or more. I'm predicting that if that happens, we will see a $500,000 plus Bitcoin in 2025 and beyond. Why? Because that serves as the country in the world, the US, that has the reserve currency status, aka the US dollar, is now adopting Bitcoin as a strategic reserve. When and if that happens, I think that it will, that's going to prove the stamp of approval for other institutions, corporations, not just guys like MicroStrategy, but people like Microsoft, Apple, and many more. Could you imagine the day that Apple decides to turn on cryptocurrency transactions through Apple Pay and allow it just as easily as they do with credit cards? That day will ultimately come. And when it happens, Apple's going to make some serious, serious bucks, okay? And some serious waves in the crypto space. Extremely bullish for that. So one day those things will happen, right? But again, the stamp of approval will be here for nation states as well, right? So we saw El Salvador adapt Bitcoin in, was it 2020 or 2021? And now they're doing great, right? And they're only expanding their holdings, figuring out ways to, last I heard, they're trying to mine Bitcoin with volcanic thermal energy with the volcano right around their city there. So pretty damn cool. Things are becoming amazing in the space here. And then, of course, other nation states will FOMO in, of course, on top of Bitcoin because we have the US doing it. We're going to see Germany's going to regret them selling it just a few months ago here. We'll see the UK do it. We'll see Canada do it. We'll see many other nations around the world all start to adopt Bitcoin as a standard for storing their wealth. And then I think we'll always see currencies being issued by nation states on top of that as well, because it's a great way to transact locally when you're in a country with that need the local currency. So that'll always probably exist, but because of these things that are happening right now in the space, we're looking at, Bitcoin going from 100,000 now to easily, I think 250 is a very bearish case scenario. And then on top of that, we have, if we get a Super Bowl blow off top this season, then I think what's going to happen is, somewhere north of 450, 500,000 is a very bullish scenario for Bitcoin. So, guys, yeah, this is one of the first crypto videos that I've made, and it's something that I've been in for a long, long time, near and dear to my heart. Been holding Bitcoin and other cryptos, Ethereum. I also bought Ethereum when it was 2017. It was about $10 when I bought Ethereum. I was in Thailand when I did that, actually. Pretty damn cool story. When I bought Ethereum, I was actually hanging out in the back of a nightclub, and an old friend of mine is talking about the next crypto coming up. He's like, "You heard about this thing called Ethereum?" And I'm like, "No, what the heck is that?" And he tells me, "Hey, it's going to be big. You should go check it out." So I was able to buy some Ethereum, way back in here. It must have been, I was in Bangkok. Oh, it must have been December 2016. I bought it for about just under $10 there, right? So that was an amazing play. Super lucky on that one. And ultimately, it ran up into millions of dollars for me back in the day. And I sold some of that. I also kept a lot of that as well. And then now there are literally just the most amazing plays in the space you've ever seen. We also saw last season, we saw Dogecoin run up from the meme coin king it became during the COVID season. So we saw that. We saw its brother or its cousin called Shiba that also had a massive, massive run up, doing a $40 billion market cap. I mean, can you freaking imagine this thing called Shiba Inu, a dog coin, right? If you look at the all-time peak market cap here, it did about what is that, $37 billion in market cap? I mean, good Lord, man. That means that if you put in just 1,000, you can't see the market cap here, but if you put in $1,000 at a market cap of what would that be, 10 million, and it goes to, no, excuse me, I'm sorry, if that went to 40 million market cap, you put in $1,000 and it goes to 40 billion, you turn $1,000 into $1 million, right? So that's the power of meme coins, and that's why people love them so much, because they're just incredibly profitable if you can choose the right one, right? So there's a lot of scams out there, a lot of weird rug pulls and things like that in the industry that you can lose your money on real quickly. But if you know what to look for, if you know what the key indicators are that allow you to easily identify which cryptos are going to do good, which cryptos are going to do bad, which ones are likely to scam, which ones are likely going to do well, then you can make a lot of money relatively quickly here. And the play, in terms of what I do with my portfolio in crypto, is I like to hold some of the big caps like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like Litecoin, like Kaspa, new up and comer that we'll talk about later on in these video series, that I think are going to be the next big things in crypto. And then I have probably about 75, 80% of my portfolio in the big caps like that. And then I have 20, 30% in just degenerate degen plays like meme coins and very speculative assets that may or may not do well, but that's okay because I only have a small portion of the portfolio there. Some do really well and some totally crash, and that's okay because the ones that do well ultimately pay in droves for the ones that failed. Okay, you imagine you pick one winner like a Shiba and it goes from a 40 million to a $40 billion market cap, and you got in on that with just $1,000, turn 1,000 to a million right there. Okay, so yeah, pretty freaking cool, and that's what's possible in the space if you simply just know what to look for. All right, but the problem is that people just don't know what they don't know. It's 2024 going into 2025, and people still don't know how to buy cryptos before they get on the big exchanges and get all the massive volume from the full-on retail mass adoption that exists on places like Coinbase, Robinhood, Binance, and many of the other big ones. US markets are huge. Binance is obviously Chinese market, probably one of the biggest exchanges outside the US, and those things bring massive volume into cryptocurrencies when they get listed, right? So could you imagine if you knew the formula to find a crypto before it got listed on the big exchanges and you got in early, meaning that when the big exchanges do list, oftentimes they have to buy the crypto they want to list so they can offer liquidity to their users. Now, all of a sudden, guess what? You're in and your bags get pumped up to the freaking top as those exchanges start buying and loading up their liquidity. It pumps yours up as well. Okay, so those are the kinds of things that I will talk about here on this channel. We'll also talk about, just industry news as it comes and goes. Talk about a little bit crypto security. We'll talk about, the markets as they are, when we think things are going to peak, when we think things are going to dump, how you can get in, when we think it's a good call, when we think it's not a good call, where things are at, you know, things of that nature, right? There's also a lot of stuff we can look at in terms of macroeconomics, global debt cycle, and the M2 money supply is something we'll talk about a lot, because if you don't know already, M2 money supply is basically correlated directly to Bitcoin, real estate assets, S&P 500, and many more, right? So we'll talk about that. But just real quickly, let's see if I can pull that up. M2 money supply. This is kind of the cheat code and the hack to all of this stuff, if you will, right? So let's look at the max here. I'm sorry, we'll look at the last 10 years. So that's a decent indication of that. But if you look, right, last 10 years, right, is this represents money printed during COVID, right? And if you look, it's probably better to see this on a logarithmic scale. You can kind of see it here. Okay, right? So look at all this money printing that happens here. And then look at right here, boom, big spike. And now we're coming into this next cycle here where they're starting to print again. And if you look, it's starting to go up again, right? So liquidity is coming into the system and things are going to get nuts once more. So these are the kind of indications we're looking at here to see what's going to happen and when inside the crypto marketplaces. If you start to see the charts, and it becomes pretty obvious where things are going, and all you got to do is have your chips in play, and you can make a lot of money. So anyways, guys, if you want to learn more about crypto and you want to see more videos like this from me as we expand into doing some more public videos in this space, then leave me a comment below, like and share this video, and let me know that you guys want to see more stuff about crypto, and we'll bring you the next one in just a few days. Okay, see you then. Take care, guys. Bye.